What's the dumbest thing you have ever said on a date? Wanting to compliment on my date's intelligence, I said, "I have met stupider girls than you. So you are really okay." First one that actually made me cringe. Oh, the awkward. How about I like talking to you because you're not too smart. You're just the right level of intelligence. I was at my ex-girlfriend's house and she broke up with me. I pretty much begged. And while begging, used a phrase that will haunt my manhood and the manhood of every man in existence. I used a phrase that should only be used for the most manly of times. Put me back in the game, coach. I've since grown bigger balls. Dude. This made me laugh much more than the original comment. Technically the date had finished. And she'd invited me back to her place. While in her room, we were slow dancing. Solid. Deep eye contact. I was going in for the kiss. She was deliberately teasing me by pulling away or brushing my lips with hers. Had her fingers in my hair. I had my nails running down her back. The sexual tension was like electricity in the air. She leans forward, kisses my neck and whispers in my ear, "Have you ever had to work this hard before?" Yes. It's not work when you're that beautiful. This guy. He knows his shit. This was said to me. But it fits. Met a guy on vacation. Chatted online for a while. Liked each other. Decided to have our first real date. While eating, guy told me a story about the time his father shoved a cat in a pillowcase and slammed it into the pavement until it went retarded. Told him his story was horrible and to stop talking. He apologized. Tried to make me feel better by reassuring me that afterwards, his father bashed its head in with a shovel. Bro. That's how serial killers are made. How do you know he isn't one? This is something I said and did. But it definitely fits the theme. So I met a girl. Went on a date. Everything was pretty standard. I got way too drunk. But somehow charmed this girl into bed. We were getting down to business when I felt that she had a Nuva ring. Which I then proceeded to pull out of her and throw onto my erection while saying, "Throw the ring. Win a prize," like some sort of carnival game guy. Needless to say, she was immediately turned off. We didn't end up completing the deed. She kicked me out. And we never spoke again. TLDR. Don't pretend to play carnival games with birth control devices. As a follow-up to this, another one of the dumbest things I've ever said on a date was repeating this story to my date. Double or nothing. This was more just me hanging out with a girl I had been dating for a little while. We were talking and she brought up the fact that her biological father was a sperm donor. We had already talked about this before and I didn't really have anything particular to keep that conversation going besides that really increases your chances of accidental incest. You know. If someone said that to me, I'd laugh my ass off. Accidental is the third hottest kind of incest. First date and the lovely lady and I get the bright idea to go to a Russian themed vodka bar called Red Square. $30 buys like a craft of infused vodka and a plate of sliced pickles. Anyway, it was going well and we're definitely invading each other's personal space. I'm getting lushed and sloshed and start to realize that in the marathon that is a night of intense drinking, I was sprinting out of the gates and fading fast. You know, I just cleaned my bathroom for the first time in like 3 months. The piss stains on that toilet were formidable. So it's clean now. If you wanted to comb me over the end you had to use the bathroom, it'd be clean now. My bathroom is clean. In the ensuing awkward pause she scooted about 6 inches away from me. And it was a 6 inches I would never recover. Hey look, you have a nervous tick. Oh. It's getting worse. Bro. That's terribly amazing. One time I was kind of on a hangout date with a girl and we were watching a movie over at my apartment. We were holding hands and she started innocently stroking my arm. She asks, "How do you get your skin so soft without missing a beat?" I reply with a whisper, "I bathe in virgin's blood." Later I found out that she was, in fact, a virgin. Hey guys, I found the serial killer. Later I found out that she was, in fact, a virgin. Well, that's convenient. I've been running low on my body scrub. More of a comment to a girl at a party. I walked out to the patio where she was sitting on the floor. I have big clumsy feet. So naturally I kicked over her drink and spilt it all over her crotch on accident. She says, "Oh, you got me all wet." I reply, "I just met you and I got you all wet already." She then points to a man in the corner and says, "Yeah, that's my boyfriend over there." I laughed at my own joke. No one else laughed. I showed myself out. As you were leaving, spaghetti fell from the hole in your pocket, down your pant leg and out all over the floor as you were walking out. Wasn't on a date, but when I first met my girlfriend, I blurted out, "You're really good looking for a Filipina." I still cringe remembering that. Early on with my now ex, we're fooling around. She liked to talk dirty. She's really good at it, or maybe I'm just really easy. Anyways, each time she says something I feel the need to respond. It got her going. This has been going for a while and honestly, I'm running out of ideas fast. Only enough blood to run one organ at a time, ladies. Long story short, she goes, "I want you inside me." And me fumbling around trying to quickly think of something to push this perfect moment over the edge attempted to say something along the lines, "I want to be inside you. Only sexier." Okay, not really, but instead it came out, "I want your coke." Holy shit. I have never wanted to just die and fade from existence anymore in my entire life. She on the other hand pushes me back a bit off her, stares into my eyes and laughs uncontrollably for I'd say a good 20-30 minutes. That pretty much ended my chances for that night and many to come. You aren't the only one, man. Mine happened mid-coitus. She was talking dirty using the "I love your coke inside me. Feels so good." Yada yada yada, you get the picture. I respond with a good old "I love the way your coke feels." Now I realize I had ducked up right around the word coke. So I quickly spit out a list of expletives that culminated with me just yelling "Virayaginara" at this poor girl. Blurble blurble blurble, followed by a hanging of my head in shame. Backstory. The girl asked me if I watched Round the Twist as a kid. At the same moment I had took a fine big gulp from a pint of Guinness. I was in so much of a hurry to answer I forgot to swallow. Just the mental image of your mouth opening really widely to answer and nothing but Guinness deciding to be the reply has really given me the giggles. When I was 17, a girl messaged me on MySpace wanting to hang out. Though she was pretty cute, so I agreed to meet her for some games at her place, which her family joined in on. She had on a shirt with really short sleeves revealing a few horizontal parallel lines just below her shoulder. Wanting to make light conversation and being the funny guy that I am, I asked, "Where do you get those cuts on your arms? Do you cut yourself?" As soon as I finished cracking that joke, my sheltered Utah childhood came crashing down around me as I realized that people actually did do that. And I just called one out right in front of her family. Tell us the aftermath. After realizing what I'd done, my mind went racing for any kind of recovery statement, but I kept drawing blanks. The girl I was with started to say something, but her sister, who apparently knew about her cutting, cut her off with bear attack. She fought off a bear, which spurred some awkward yet genuine laughs and gave the conversation enough of a spin to hightail it onto another subject. We finished the game and oddly enough she called me again. But what the people really want to know, we never ended up having sex. Wasn't a date per se, but very early on in my relationship with my ex we were on the train from CT to NY and sitting across the aisle from us was a young woman with an adorable puppy. After my ex let out an audible AWW, I somehow managed to say "I love ducking dogs" instead of "I ducking love dogs." His response was, "Do I need to hold you back?" I saw something similar in a green text on 4chan once. It was about a guy playing volleyball and managed to punch the ball really hard into a girl's face. He could not decide whether to say "I'm ducking sorry" or "Are you okay?" So he said "Are you ducking sorry?" I laughed so hard ducking. So, your profile picture, was that your sister or something? You didn't. 44RDV4RK has 2 4s. Edit. At the beginning. Yes. I accidentally counting. Was out with this girl once. She asked me what my opinion was towards tattoos. Said something like this. In my opinion it's fine as long as it's not barbed wire. Tribal or names dates. She had her parents' names tattooed on her arm. Which I didn't notice till after I said it. Dude. Be true to yourself. Last girlfriend and I, short-term relationship, broke up over a tattoo she was getting. This makes me feel better, so thanks. Visiting Manhattan. Watching a Rangers game in a bar by myself. Cute girl comes up and starts chatting with me. Mentions that she's Dominican. I don't remember my exact words, but I somehow brought up cholera in the first 30 seconds and that was that. So, do you have cholera? Poto. Puto. Best comment of the day. I was in a bar one about to order a beer when I saw a guy dump something into the glass of a very young looking girl who must have been overage despite looking like she was 16. I said, "Hugh, what did you just do? That guy just put something in your drink." Her drink was still more fizzy than it should be. The bartender, a woman, jumped over the bar and started beating the shit out of the guy. Other patrons pulled the bartender off the guy. I held the guy down and the police were called. The police came saying the bartender had beat him up, but even though the guy's face was clearly beat up, no one in the bar saw the bartender hit him. The police took the drink, which turned out to be Coca-Cola with a strong sedative, but no alcohol, and the guy away. Turned out the young looking girl was the bartender's 16-year-old sister. She was there waiting for her sister's shift to end to drive her home. Most of the other patrons knew about this relationship and left the girl alone. I had left her alone because even 21 was too young for me. In any case, the bartender told me I was no longer allowed to pay for drinks and she even took me out for dinner twice, but we were just friends. Not sure that counts as a cock block because there was no way the guy could have gotten the teenager out of the bar. The other patrons were very protective of her. I just kept her from being drugged and got the guy arrested who tried to drug her.